Third graders, today we are going to start our brand new unit. We are going to be in Unit 2. Earlier today, I passed out your new readers and I passed out your activity notebooks. These are both now in your possession and you have them. So when we call them, we'll have our readers and our activity notebooks. And these are going to be where our new stuff is. So even though I've not taken back your other activity notebooks yet, this is what will be in unless otherwise specified for activities, okay? This new unit is, we don't have them out yet. This new unit is awesome. I kind of already told you a little tiny bit about it. This is going to be a unit that is going to be more nonfiction based. So it's going to have more facts, more information, and just kind of looking at the cover of our book, what do you notice on it?
Animals.
Lots of animals. Very good. So that's going to be that focus when we go through it. In this unit, you are actually going to be animal researchers or zoologists. So say that word with me. Zoologists. You are going to become zoologists. You are going to become researchers. Throughout this entire unit, you guys are going to be taking field notes. You're going to be thinking about what we learned that day and what can some really good takeaways from each piece be. So it's going to be a lot of learning. So not only learning the importance of reading and things that go with reading and writing, but also we're going to be learning about those animals. This will be really awesome too, because later on in the year in our science units, we actually learn a good deal about animals as well. So this is going to give us a little bit of background on that as we go through. So zoology, we are also going to be classifying animals. So taking animals and deciding which group they belong in, and we'll talk about those groups and why they would be at those groups. As zoologists, you're going to research and you're going to read about all different kinds of animals and how they are classified as well. So we will be classifying. We're going to be reading about how they're classified. We're going to be reading about how zoologists and researchers do their work. It'll be a lot of information, a lot of work, and a lot of writing. But can we handle it? The other cool thing is this is a very interesting unit. It's going to pull us in. Did Wind in the Willows pull us in pretty good?
Yes.
We got kind of addicted to it, didn't we? There's going to be some different features of this unit as well. For one, starting today, you have spelling lists. Every 5 school days, you'll have a spelling test. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So when's your spelling test?
Thursday.
In class, our spelling test is Thursday. Online, the spelling test might be a different day. It's for everybody, okay? So every 5 school days, we have a spelling test. Can we handle that?
No.
I, in my weekly updates, will let parents know when you get your lists and when your test will be. In years past, have you had spelling? Kind of, right? I don't know how you did spelling in the past, whether your teacher printed you a list or not. You're going to see how it's done here. And you're going to be expected to practice your words at home. We won't have a ton of class time to do it. We'll talk about the patterns. We'll talk about why, but we're going to have spelling every 5 days, a spelling test. I'll introduce the words today. You will be in charge of writing them down. You will be in charge of keeping track of them. And we'll test on Thursday. Haley, you have a question? It's a very exciting. I've read through it a little bit, not a ton, and I'm really excited about it. You guys ready to get into it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. The coolest part about this is for the first activity, we need to research and observe some animals. Sound good? What I would like you to do is open up your activity notebook, and we're going to skip the first page of it. Actually, we are not going to skip the first page. Before we observe some animals, you need to observe this animal. So it is what we need to do. On page 1.1, which is page 1, 1.1, page 1, we are going to do some animal observing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Everybody go ahead and open up to page 1.1 where we have our animal image. Do you see our animal?
Yes.
This is the coolest looking animal on page 1.1, page 1. This animal, we are going to record our observations about him. When you're recording your observations, you're thinking about what you see. What are you thinking about? What you,
see.
you're recording what you hear. What are you recording?
What do you hear?
Are we going to hear this animal?
No.
We're going to record what we notice. That would be that seeing, right? What you see, what you hear. If we were out in the wild with our animals, we could observe what we smell as well. We're not going to be touching these animals, but what we feel. What I want you to do is on this page, just kind of around it, it says record your observations about the animal below. Also, be sure to give it a name. Not like Bob, but like what type of animal is this to you? Write it down and record your observations. So all around it, I want you just to record your observations. What are some things you notice? I'm going to give you 4 minutes to be recording your observations and giving it a name. Go. Snap fast. Go. The point of this was to start to see that we can observe an animal in its habitat. Stand up if, when you were doing observations, you wrote about your animal's habitat or where it lives. Awesome. How many of you noted, of those people standing up, that the animal lives in the mountains? Those are awesome observations. How many of you noted that the animal maybe lives somewhere cold? Awesome. Hands down. I got to talk to Kaylin about hers, and Kaylin didn't call these snowflakes. What'd you call them? She said they were stars. That changes it completely because that takes this animal from living in a cold environment to possibly being nocturnal. Nocturnal meaning they're up at night. Isn't that kind of a cool change? Just by observing its surroundings. Good, have a seat. I thought that was really cool. I hadn't thought of it that way. We make observations. We want to make observations about what we're seeing, Viola, on there. So we talk about its body. It has 2 legs, beaks, big eye. Maybe you noticed it different than I did. Some of you jumped to maybe it being part of a bird or an ostrich because it only had 2 legs. I guess there could be more on the other side. We just don't see them. There's stripes. I thought this maybe was like a fin, like a dinosaur has, or like a shark has or something. And then I saw Grayson had wings written down, and it made me think maybe those are wings. And so I put maybe both. I couldn't tell if he had feathers or if he had fur, but he had something going on. I even noticed that the stripes on the legs were going opposite of the body. And I thought that was interesting. Anybody else notice that? So once you make the initial observations, that's when we want to go back and start to look for more of those details. Today, we are going to do some more observing. Are you ready? Okay. We're going to, in just a moment, not yet, we're going to look at another page, and we are going to observe some real animals in their environment. To do this today, we are going to be going to the, the Smithsonian National Zoologist Park, or not zoologist, the Zoological Park via the internet, and we are going to be observing webcams of animals. Now, depending on the time of day that we do this, the different animals might be active. So what we're going to do, and for my friends that are at home too doing this, our TV Land friends, we are going to take that opportunity to look at an animal. If they're not doing anything and they're just laying there, observe their habitat, observe their surroundings, and put some of that information, and then move on. Don't wait for that. We won't wait for that animal to get up and do something, okay? Different animals are active at different times of day. So then we'll start to see what other animals might be active at this time of day when we are doing this. And we're going to be doing what we just did for this made-up animal for real animals in their habitat. These are not their habitats necessarily, I don't think, in the wild. I don't know how this works. But we're going to get to check out some different animals, okay? At this time, go ahead and turn the page so you're looking at page 2. Or sorry, page 3. What page?
Page 3.
On page 3, it has our animal webcam observations. And this is what we're going to be working today. It just says animal researchers. Use this activity page to describe each animal and record its actions. So, your researcher's name is what? Joey, Charlie. You got your own name, right? And then today's date, our observation today is 9/11/2020. We'll fill that out in a second, or if you're doing this at a different time, your date is different. This is during your observation, think about the following questions. What is the animal doing? What's the first question we think about?
What is the animal doing?
How would you describe the animal? What is our question?
How do you describe the animal?
How would you describe the habitat?
How do you describe the habitat?
What do we mean by that word habitat? What do we mean by it? Cooper.
Where it lives.
The habitat is where it lives, what it looks like, what's surrounding it. Great. And last but not least, what would animal researchers notice about this animal? What is our last question?
What animal researchers know about this animal?
Perfect. Well, I get this ready and set up. Your job is to fill out this first column. What I already know. Do you need to see the animal to fill this out?
No.
What I already know. Now, here's the deal. Like you and me, we might not know some of these animals. So we have the Asian small-clawed otter. What I already know. Do you know anything?
No.
I don't. Maybe you do.
I do.
A clouded leopard. This is actually at the Lincoln Zoo. An elephant.
Yes.
So that would be what we're filling out, the what do I already know. If I turn the page to the back, we have some other animals. We have fishing cats, so you'll fill out what you already know. Lions, what you already know. The naked mole rat, what you already know.
I know that.
The orangutan, which you already know, and the panda. Last night, Tyler and I got in an argument, a heated argument. He was looking at his alphabet book and he lifted up the O and he said, monkey. That's an orangutan. And he said, no, it's a monkey. And I said, no, it's an orangutan. It starts with an O and this is how you spell it. And it's right here. And he said, Mommy, it's a monkey. And he turned the page on me and he got mad. And later we looked at it again and he goes, it's an orangutan. You stinker. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys, well, I actually already have most of it set up. But as I get ready, I want you guys to fill out what you already know. Now, I warn you, not all of these animals are going to be ones we can observe today, purely because I was looking at the website a little bit ago, and I did not see, for example, the Asian small-clawed otter. I didn't even see it as an example to observe. So it's fine to fill out what you do or don't know about it, but just an example, we might not get to all of these. So take a few minutes to fill out the what I already know. Go.